And welcome to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. It's Wednesday night. We always start a little bit late. If you watch the show, you know that already, whether we're in the studio or we're here inside my living room. It doesn't matter. We always start a couple minutes late. It's almost like tradition at this point. But welcome to the show, everybody. Again, we'll be back in the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio at some point, hopefully sooner than later, because we want to get back there so much. And it's times like this that I really, really appreciate Johnny Nunez and his team at Teen Vision TV 16, who make it looks so easy inside the studio and his crew. So we're still doing it from home. We will be back in the studio at some point. And until then, though, you're stuck with this rudimentary. I try to put graphics on and roll videos and whatnot. So until then, you're stuck with me and this guy who's wearing, what is that, a Riverside TV hat? Are you getting ready for football season?
I'm getting ready for some kind of season, but I haven't shaved, Pep. I haven't shaved in like a week since last time we were on the air. I haven't shaved.
That's nothing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but see, it's gray. So, I mean, really, and my hair is really, really bad. I have none, and it's just bald. And you know, my hair is bare. My beard is weird. It just looks ridiculous.
Well, coming up a little bit later in the show, listen, we've got some great interviews. What we've been doing is stockpiling, recording interviews, and then we're going to play some of them back. Never before seen footage coming your way from not only Matt Mitchell, the pride of Roosevelt High School in San Diego State, who's going into the NBA draft. We got the great Taylor Dockins, who, Jeff, I don't know if you heard about this, but she's starting to write a book.
Are we going to be in it?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
I'm going to text her and tell her the Gorham and Pep better be in it.
Hey, do me a favor right now. Text her right now while we're on the air and see if she gets back to you while we're doing the show.
All right, let me do this right now.
All right, so we got Taylor Dockins, and then don't forget this. Everyone's been wanting to hear more from Centennial head football coach Matt Logan, the legendary Matt Logan. We talk everything Centennial football. Will they have to switch games, move games, cancel games, reschedule games, push games back? Everything's on the table right now, but we'll talk to Matt Logan a little bit later in the show as well. So Matt Logan, Taylor Dockins, Matt Mitchell, and the star of the show, the great Kono. Kono, what is up?
I don't know if I'm the star of the show, but
yes,
it's been going good. I appreciate you having me here, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Listen, I'm trying to figure out who you look like. There's some baseball pitcher.
Is it a pitcher or is it an outfielder from the Dodgers?
No. I think he's like a closer. I'm trying to figure out who it is. Give me some time.
Is it because of this?
It's the glasses and the beard.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's an Astro because I don't think Kono would still wear a cheater's hat.
Well, it's like to each his own, Jeff. I don't think we were the only ones cheating, so we still have our rings, man. We still have our rings.
What's that Kermit the Frog meme that everyone shares like that? Well, that's none of my business. Here I go with my cup. It's none of my business.
I've also seen the one where they have the guy hitting and then he just gets hit over and over and over and over. Astros 2020 season.
Man, everyone's continuing to bury the Astros. I've seen stuff like birthday gifts of like trash cans and has Astros on it. But anyways,
Hey,
we won't bury you too much, Kono.
Someone's got to be the bad guy.
Hey, are you still doing stuff at the Pac-12 networks?
Pac-12 network is still going strong. Pac-12 today.
On the old radio, right?
Yep, 3 o'clock. Still talking. We got some news finally that student athletes are coming back June 1st or have the ability to come back June 1st. UCLA just got a new athletic director. So, yeah, we kind of have a lot to talk about these last couple days, unlike the last couple weeks.
Hey, I don't know. The last time I talked to you, I don't know if this was out yet, but Colin Cowherd said that he thinks not next season, but the year after, when Jaden Daniels is eligible to go into the NFL draft, that Jaden Daniels, the pride of Cajon High School, could potentially be the number 1 draft pick.
And I think that's not even a far stretch. The way he's played as a freshman, you can only assume his level at quarterback and how poised he is at the time he is now. I could see him definitely going number 1. I don't know if you saw, too, someone photoshopped him as the cover of the PS4 NCAA game, which was pretty cool to see, and maybe that could happen.
You know what, though, Kono? Pep, you said the pride of Cajon?
Yes.
You said Jaden Daniels is?
Yes.
Stephen Kono is the pride of Cajon High School.
Well, there's that, too, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of a pride, but he's like more of like national recognition. Where like mine is like a couple streets that might know me.
Hey, guys, this is a question for both of you because you can both answer this. So I think it was yesterday, that USC quarterback, I think his name's Jack Sears, is transferring to Boise State. Now, I asked Kono because this is Pac-12 football territory, so that's in your wheelhouse. And I tossed it to Jeff as well because Boise State has the pride of Marietta Valley, Hank Bachmeier. Like, does Jack think he's going to go up to the Smurf turf and just knock off our boy Hank? That's never going to happen.
I don't know. I think he had a better chance of knocking off Hank than he does of knocking off Slovis, because Slovis, I mean, pretty much now made 2 quarterbacks transfer out of USC. So,
well, I'll say this.
Boise State has a very high opinion of Inland Empire players. A lot of Inland Empire players go through Boise State.
Dude, Jaden Daniels and Hank Bachmeier might have been the 2 best starting freshman quarterbacks in all of Division I football last year.
Yeah, Bachmeier's not losing his job to a guy named Sears. There's no way. You're a USC throwaway, and they've been rotten. And Bachmeier has been great. He was great last year. He got hurt at the end there, I believe, but he still was fantastic. People were talking about him nationally as one of the top quarterbacks last year. Get out of here, Sears. Bachmeier will always be the guy.
So, Kono, when you get back on the air with your Pac-12 guys, why don't you enlighten them a little bit and say there's no chance Jack Sears will be playing quarterback at Boise State because that job is already locked up, signed, sealed, and delivered.
I mean, I can definitely give the Inland Sports approval on that. And, I mean, he left the Pac-12, so he's just looking for somewhere to play. I can't exactly say. Maybe he couldn't make it in the Pac-12, and that's why he went out to the West, but I don't know.
He is closer to being a checker at Sears than being the starting quarterback for Boise State. And that could be a suspect because I don't know if Sears is even around anymore.
But it's a good – I mean, it's the game of football. You never know when injuries might happen. Like you said, Bachmeier kind of went down at the end of last season. Maybe they're just looking for somebody to maybe fill a void if that happens to be the case.
An insurance policy
is what they like to call it, correct?
Yes.
Hey, Jeff, while I got you here as well, I wanted to ask you about UC Riverside Basketball because you were telling me they've got some new guys coming in. I see Coach Patrick, active on social media, some big man from St. Mary's. And, I mean, what's going on?
I'll tell you what, DP, as David Patrick, is probably the best recruiter I've seen in 2 years. I mean, think of it this way. He only lost 2 players. I was talking to my wife, Smetty Smedberg, earlier about this. They've only lost 2 seniors. They lost Kai Cabellas, a graduate transfer, and Dikembe Martin. But they still have Callum McRae, who's just going to be a junior, who is a phenomenal big man, had a great sophomore season. But they got Jock Perry, a transfer from St. Mary's, who's, he's 7 feet tall. He's a grad transfer, and he's a beast. So they've got guys. They have literally 3-4 guys with Arenze Cheatham, Jock Perry, Callum McRae, Angus McWilliam. That is comparable to any team we've seen at UC Irvine with their bigs in the last 10 years.
Yeah, they should. I think they should be pretty good this upcoming year. And it still pains me that they didn't get a chance to see what they could do this year at the Big West tournament. And they were literally hours away from trying to make that happen before everything was shut down.
Yeah, and Trent Rush said last week when he was on the show, he said, he was hoping that Irvine would have a chance to, because they were playing great, and they were playing great. But you cannot say that UC Riverside wasn't there. Remember, they lost a total of 4 games by a total of 7 points in conference. That shows, and they were against teams like Santa Barbara, UC Irvine, and Cal State Northridge. These are tough teams that had great athletes, and this was only DP's second season. I'll tell you, he's got the cupboard full. There's a JC transfer coming in, a transfer from DePaul University. They've got the cupboard, and I'll tell you what, they might not have the same exact team as last year because you never know. During this COVID, guys might decide to leave because of this. I mean, I could see a lot of college programs changing differently. CBU has 8 different players. Just because of this COVID thing, guys might not be able to get back out to California. It could change the landscape of college football, college basketball, and sports across America.
Hey, speaking of this COVID thing, and I know Kono's a music guy, did you guys see what I posted on social media that Warren G was in San Bernardino feeding the SBVC football team?
I was really bummed I couldn't go because my son and I were talking. He lives out here in I think, Canyon Lake, right out by the Fee. And so we talked about him a week before, and all of a sudden, boom, you're interviewing him. We had to go. We went down and socially distanced at Coronado. So that's, not too bad. We were hanging out at the beach. But what was Warren G like? Was he regulating?
Dude, he was very soft-spoken and a great cook. He was on the grill. He was cooking.
Yeah, but he had a face mask. Did he ever take off the face mask? Are you sure it was Warren G and not Warren B?
I'm sure. Kono, you're a hip hop guy. What's your take on Warren G giving back to the folks of San Bernardino? Because not only are you a music guy, but you're a San Bernardino guy.
Well, yeah, I was actually very astonished, kind of, that he was out there during this time. I was bummed that you didn't send a personal invite to go out there. I would love to meet Warren G.
Dude, after the fact it hit me, I'm like, why didn't I tell Kono?
Yeah, I just thought it's cool. Anytime someone comes back to the Inland Empire and gives back like that, I just think the world of that person. Even if I don't know them personally, all of a sudden they've moved to notch 1 on my notches. But that's really cool that he came, and I'm sure that all the football players were very excited.
Well, what was funny was he had this big brimmed hat on, and then he had his mask and stuff, and he was on the grill. Like, he was the guy cooking. He was on the grill preparing all the food, and I think the football guys had no clue. So Coach Algatis had all the football players move into the stadium, and they sat in the stands where the fans would be, but like with social distancing, 6 feet apart. And he's like, "Hey guys, I got a special guest." And he's like, and this guy, the cook, right? The chef walks up, and he's like, "Guys, this is Warren G." And they were like, "What?" Like, they had no idea. It was like you got punked. Like, they had no idea.
So did you? I know that he was fed the team, and then he fed their families as well, food to take home.
Yeah, dude, he brought so much food they could eat as much as they wanted, and whatever was left over, he was going to divvy it up so they could take it home to their families.
Did you try the food?
I didn't, man. I didn't want to be that guy. Like,
what do you mean, be that guy? Warren G was making. What was he cooking?
Oh my gosh, it was several different kinds of barbecue. He had, I think, chicken. It was something like a brisket. He had mac and cheese. He had baked beans. I'm trying to think what else he had. But yeah, it was like a buffet.
It was regulating.
He was regulating. So that was kind of cool. So, and it was between Warren G. And the other thing, actually, I wanted to ask Kono, and I think we've talked about it too, Jeff, is that the Korean Baseball League has been all the rage. And the star pitcher for the Kia Tigers is none other than the pride of Cajon High School,
Oh no,
Aaron Brooks.
Oh, another pride of Cajon.
Lots of Cajon.
That's actually really cool that we've seen him on the Korean baseball. I just like.
Did you know that?
I haven't. I've actually watched a few games, but no, I have not seen him pitch.
I hit him up like 2 weeks ago. It was right before the season started. And I hit him up, and he's like, oh, man, I totally do an interview. He's like, but things are kind of crazy right now because they were just starting the season, and they were traveling around. And because of the time change, too, Korea from here, like it was kind of tricky. So I'm still working on it. I'm not going to let Aaron off the hook quite yet. But, yeah, he's like the ace. He's like the star pitcher for the Kia Tigers. And I know ESPN's been blowing it out, with all this KBO, Korean Baseball League coverage. So if you're a Cajon fan, an Inland Empire baseball fan, if you stay up late enough one of these nights, you might catch Aaron Brooks and the Kia Tigers.
That's really cool. I know they feed in the crowd noise. I wonder, when you ask them, see how it is playing in front of nobody or in front of what is it? They have like cardboard fans.
That's so weird. I don't know if I could ever get used to that.
You kidding me? Those are the best fans ever. They don't say anything.
That's what the Astros need.
Yeah. Oh, Zinger.
We feed off the energy. We need the hate. We need it. Bring on the hate.
Yeah, you know what? During this whole pandemic time, I think we're just all being too nice to each other.
Yeah, I'm not being nice to anybody. Anybody comes near my house, I just shoot them.
Jeez.
I got my big dog, and I got my shotgun, and I sit out front, and I say, hey, don't come over here. Socially distance unless you got food. If you got food, you can come over to my house, though. Because we're wasting away in the Gorham home.
No food, huh?
No, normally I go out and kill my own food, but I can't leave my house. So all we're eating is graham crackers and water.
Hey, speaking of killing your own food, I want to get your guys' take on this. Jeff, and I haven't told you about this. This is something that has been only talked about inside the walls of the Fernandez household. So last week, something took a big dump on my front doorstep. So I was doing my homework on animal scat.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure it was a bobcat. So what I did was, and I'll send you and Kono the link too. It's private on YouTube, so no one else can see it. But I took one of my video cameras and I planted it in a feeder on my front porch. And I had it run the camera cords running into my house into a computer, and I live streamed my front door for like 12 hours straight, like all night long. So I could see what's coming up to my door. What took a huge dump, like on the doormat, like right at my front door. So I did that for about 4 or 5 nights in a row. Nothing. And I told my girls, I'm like, you know what? I don't know what it was. We even put like some carrots and some meat and stuff out there to see if anyone would come get it. Nothing. So I take down all my stuff. Last night was the first night I did not do it, and there's a huge dump now on my back porch.
Well, I got news for you, Pep. It's not a bobcat. It's me.
I knew that was coming.
And you got a weird diet because it's got all these little seeds and stuff in there.
Oh, we eat really well. I got a bird feeder back here, and my kids are eating that. I just dropped Luke off. I said, Luke, go over there. He said, Dad, I got to go to the bathroom. I said, hold it. We're going to drive out to the Fernandez house. And Luke just, I'm sorry. I won't have him do it again. I think last night we were just confused. I might have been drunk at one time. So my wife was driving and like, hey, which door's the front or back? And Luke just, I'm sorry. I apologize.
It was a gnarly dump. It looks like black tar.
Hey, there's a new show on Netflix that everybody needs to watch. Remember, Tiger King was all the rage. Okay, the new one is done by the same people that did Tiger King, called Strange Planet, I think it's called. It's about little animals. Absurd Planet. And it's about animals, and it's a comedy. So my little kids can watch it, but a lot of adult humor. And there was a big song about the dung beetle that is really making its way around our home. So watch it. I think it's called Absurd Earth or Absurd Planet. It is one of the funniest TV shows out there. I want everyone to watch it and let me know.
Big fan of the dung beetle.
Oh, unbelievable. It's just like maybe the dung beetle came and rolled a number 2 up to your front door.
Dude, it's like the Wild West over here. I wasn't here because I was gone today, but there was a huge snake in our front yard. And then we're having someone's taking a dump all over our house. And then the other night we had something ran into our back door, like slammed into it.
Oh, that's awesome. Maybe your house is possessed, but I just got an answer from Taylor. And when I read this, it's really true what she said, and I can show it.
Okay.
I said, "Hi, Taylor. Pep and I are on the air right now, and we want to know if we're going to be in the book." And she said, "Ha ha! How would I leave out my Uncle Jeff and Aunt Pep?" And she wrote, "LOL, just kidding about you being my aunt or her aunt." And she said, "I love you guys, so we better be in that book."
I don't know how to take that.
Your Aunt Pep. I'm everybody's uncle. Jeff is everybody's uncle. You are Aunt Pep. Yeah.
But Taylor was awesome. I can't wait to play some of that interview. So what it is with the Riverside County Office of Education, we're doing these long formatted interviews, like 20, 25 minutes long, kind of, dig a little deeper on some things. And I'm going to play, I don't know, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes of the interview. Cause Taylor's awesome. Like everything she says is just so awesome. And what's amazing is I know this pandemic thing sucks and it's been hard on a lot of people, but if anyone knows anything about overcoming and having obstacles and keeping a smile on your face through all of it, it's Taylor Dockins.
The absolute best student athlete I think you and I have interviewed in our long friendship. She's my all-time favorite. She goes, we've had her at Cal State Fullerton before a UCR basketball game. She's just phenomenal. She's somebody that I pray for every single day before I go to bed, as well as you two guys. But no, she's just somebody that I look to, and I hope that my children can emulate the strength and perseverance that she has shown, and with grace, I should say, with grace. She's amazing.
Well, guys, I don't have the money to buy the professional Zoom, and I just got a Zoom alert saying this is going to wrap up. So I got to wrap this up. I don't know. What does Zoom do? Does it just cut you off?
I think so. I think at 30 minutes is if you're not premium, then I think you get 30.
Yeah, and when you talk about scat on the air, they might cut you off.
Especially when it's Jeff.
I'm gonna text you guys a picture of it.
If it was mine, it would have been bear size.
Jeff, it was good seeing you, man. Kono, dude, what is up? Good seeing you too, man.
Yeah, I'm always glad to see both of you guys. I do watch every Wednesday. I just like to see when I'm on it too. I like to know that I'm wanted somewhere. I'm just in my house. I don't come out of my room. I just watch Sopranos.
We're just trying to give you some hot Pac-12 takes that you can take back to the show and show them what's up.
Yeah, absolutely. Fill up my Rolodex. I'm always I'm a sponge for knowledge.
So let him know, Hank Bachmeyer. He's a bad man.
Kono, it's great seeing you. You're as cute as ever.
Thank you.
Give that lady and your little one a big smooch for me, because you got to. All right, see you, Pep. I'm gonna kiss you on the lips when I see you again.
No, you're not. All right, see you guys. Let's wrap this up. That's Kono. That's Jeff. And we appreciate them checking in. I'm going to close this up because I've got a running clock, and it says 29:15, 29:20. It's keeping going. So if 30 minutes is the limit on Zoom, then that's about it. Bye, Kono.
See you guys.
The great Kono and Gorham hanging out. Okay, when we come back, again, we got some interviews. We're going to play some of it. We got an awesome exclusive interview with Matt Mitchell, the pride of Roosevelt High School. Fantastic career at San Diego State. Now he's looking ahead to the NBA draft. We're going to do that next. A little bit later in the show, the great Matt Logan, Centennial football coach, and Taylor Dockins. Big show live from my living room. We'll have more when we come back on the Inland Sports Show.
So with our school program, it's called BASS, the Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes. We've had our school for about 3 years now. We're going to be opening up enrollment for the 2020-2021 school year. And if you really want to get involved, it's all referral based. You either have to come speak with us directly, or if you know someone who's currently in the program. But it's a great program. It's all the meat and potatoes of just your rigorous academic program and a complete collegiate strength and speed development program as well. It's a real collegiate vibe. It challenges the kids. It's not an easy program by any means, but we've had a lot of growth with our student athletes as they move on to high school, whether they're going to a public school or private school. It's a program that really prepares you, not just academically, but physically for the next level.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, And we have customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Don't forget, there's 2 Spoiled locations now. I'm at the brand new one right off the 91 freeway at Arlington. You can spoil yourself. You can spoil your car. You come in here, 10 minutes, you're in and you're out. You're back on the road. Go check out Spoiled, local business, locally owned and operated. And they've got the location off the 215 freeway at Alessandro. And this one, the brand new one here, off of the 91 at Arlington.
I felt spoiled. It was great. I got in easy. I mean, the price was the best. The price is just helped me out. And what I really enjoyed about it is that they explained to me what was going on today. And I feel like when I walked out of here, I just felt so special. I said I had a new boyfriend. His name is Spoiled.
You got your flower.
And I got the flower.
Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
So with our school program, it's called BASS, the Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified from my living room. Soon enough, we'll be back in the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio at Teen Vision TV 16. But until then, we're still battling. We're still grinding, just looking a little bit differently here. But we've got some great interviews, and this is a guy, man, he's been one of our favorites for a long, long time. And I was so excited that he made some time for us on our show as he prepares for the NBA draft. Again, the NBA season, we still got to get to the rest of the season, but we would normally have the NBA draft, the end of June. There's combines before that. There's, private workouts and all that stuff. But Matt Mitchell, the pride of Roosevelt High School, he's hanging tough. He's doing what he can. As soon as we can open things up a little bit more, he's going to hit the ground running as soon as he gets that green light. But he is preparing for the NBA draft following a great career at San Diego State, leaving the Aztecs early to test out the NBA draft waters. Of course, helping Roosevelt to that state title with Jamal Baker. Man, what a 1-2 punch Coach Singleton had with those guys. So we're so excited for Matt Mitchell. What lies ahead for him? Well, let's find out. This is a very exclusive Inland Sports interview with our guy, Matt Mitchell. And welcome, everybody, to a very special interview here on the Inland Sports Show. He's one of our favorite guys in the world, and we're excited for him because he is entering the NBA draft after a great year at San Diego State. Great career, but a really great year for the Aztecs. It's the great Matt Mitchell out of Roosevelt High School. Matt, first off, how are you doing? How's your family? Everybody good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. The family's good. Everybody's good, hanging in there, doing the best they can during these times.
I wanted to ask you, so when you declared for the NBA draft, was it during the quarantine or had the pandemic started yet? I'm trying to remember the timeline of when it all kind of happened.
Yes, the pandemic had already started. Just going through the whole process of it, just trying to figure out what was best for myself and my family, just trying to figure out what's best for me. And so season ended and it ended rough. We weren't able to play March Madness, and that was what every college player lived for, but especially this team and going 30-2. I think we had a really special season, and just for that to kind of go down the drain and no March Madness was kind of a thorn in our side.
You could have had a great shot of maybe making a long run at the NCAA tournament at March Madness. Do you kind of look back and think, man, what if? I know the NBA is in front of you and you want to pursue that dream and stuff, but you think, man, if we had just got like another month or two of the season, then this could have been, who knows, a national championship for the Aztecs.
Exactly. You never know. That's exactly what we were thinking, and you have to think, what if? What if we were able to play and play out March Madness, even if it was with no fans? I think we still would have showed up and gave it our all.
Were you pretty set though the entire time, regardless of how the season finished out, and how if the Aztecs could have won a national championship? But with all that aside, were you pretty set on, hey, you know what? I think after this season, I think I'm going to test the NBA draft and see what happens.
Most definitely. I wanted to test the waters no matter what. I felt like I was in a good position too. I feel like my body is in the right position too. I feel like it wasn't my first 2 years in college, and now I feel like I'm ready to test those waters. So just going in there, I think if we would have played March Madness, it would have given me a lot more confidence in just the entire process of the NBA draft and the workouts and whatnot. Just being able to showcase my talent. But having lost that, I still feel like I can showcase my talent and put my name out there so guys know who Matt Mitchell is, and when the time comes around next year that I'm in the running.
Matt, what do you think has been the biggest adjustment to your game from, let's say, when we saw you and Jamal Baker tearing it up at Roosevelt to the basketball player that you are right now? What do you think are the biggest changes to the way you've developed to your game?
I think it's growth, just growth and maturity. I think that I've always been a well-rounded player and had a well-rounded game. I just think the growth and maturity is what I needed, and just kind of the weight loss. Just my freshman and my sophomore year, I gained a little bit of weight and lost that maturity and mentality, and gained it back after the summer of my sophomore year, going into my junior year. Just being able to play at the right weight, and feel more athletic and more agile.
Well, Matt, normally, as we get closer to the NBA draft, whenever it will take place, there's teams bring you in for workouts and there's like an NBA combine and all that stuff. Have you heard anything about when you might be able to work out for teams and kind of get this draft process going?
No, we haven't really heard anything right now. But at the same time, it's just kind of like the weight game. And I believe if workouts come to be soon, and I'm able to take the workouts, I'll take the workouts. And if my stock goes up and I'm likely to be drafted this year, I feel that it'd be in the right place for me to take that.
What are some things that you're doing during this quarantine period? At home or on your own, or however. I mean, is there a basket you have access to that you can just put some shots up? What are some things that you're doing to just kind of keep your body right?
Yeah, just trying to find baskets. I'm able to find a basket to work out on and get shots up and keep my game tight, as well as running. I do a lot of running every day, just trying to keep that fitness up. And I do a lot of workouts in the house, a lot of HIIT workouts. Workouts you don't really need weights with, but you're using more body weight and just getting a good sweat in.
Matt, growing up, was there a player or did you have a favorite player or a favorite NBA team? Because I know, once you make it to the NBA, all bets are off. You're gonna have a new favorite team and all of those things. But as a younger player, let's say even going back to Roosevelt, was there a guy that you kind of looked up to or said, okay, maybe my game is similar to his, something like that?
I think for me it was a little bit of Kawhi Leonard, but I really like Bradley Beal. I like comparing my game to him, just the agility and just swiftness he plays with on the court. I think just along the way growing up, I think my favorite player was Paul George. But I think I compare most to a little bit of Bradley Beal.
Matt, you brought up Kawhi Leonard, obviously another San Diego State guy. That pipeline from the Inland Empire to San Diego State. It's continuing. We got Lamont Butler from Poly High School that will be down there next year. Does Kawhi still hang around the program? Have you had a chance to maybe practice with him or talk to him or anything like that?
Not practice with him, but he's definitely around a lot. Just him being in LA playing with the Clippers. Sometimes he'll come up and work out, and you're able to see him work out and see his work ethic. And I've been able to chop it up with him a few times and get a few words in. But it's mostly just business. You're going about your day and you're getting your work in.
And Matt, finally, has the NBA always been the dream? Like even as a young boy, I mean, did you have all these these dreams and goals of making it to the NBA one day? And now that you're so close, I mean, does it feel like, hey, is this real? Like, am I really this close to achieving this dream?
It does. It kind of feels surreal. Just growing up and thinking NBA, watching Kobe, watching LeBron. Watching all these guys through the league and wanting to be like them and wanting to play alongside and against them, and now that chance is just within arm's reach. It's kind of a surreal feeling, but it just makes me want it that much more.
Matt, I'm curious, what position do you think you're at the next level? Like a small forward?
No, I think I'm more of a two.
A two?
I feel like I can play the two and the three. And sometimes a little bit of one if I have to.
And, we're going into this age of I guess they call it like positionless basketball, right? Like you got to be able to do everything. Doesn't matter how tall you are, short you are. Yep. You got to be able to do everything on the court. Is that how you're kind of trying to mold your game?
Most definitely. I want to be versatile at every position. And if there's a switch and I got to guard a big man, I want to be able to hold my own. And if I got to switch from a 3 to a 1. I want to be able to move my feet and contain.
Well, Matt, I really appreciate this time catching up with you, man, and best of luck in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, things will kind of open up a little bit more, and you can go, work out for some teams, and as we get closer to the NBA draft. But I do appreciate the time. You've always been one of our favorites, and man, we're all rooting for you here in the Inland Empire to do something big.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. It was good seeing you.
Good seeing you, too. That's Matt Mitchell, the pride of Roosevelt High School, now at San Diego State, and now getting ready for the NBA draft. All right, that was the great Matt Mitchell breaking it down here on the Inland Sports Show. Fantastic career at Roosevelt High School, and then again at San Diego State. And we mentioned it, the pipeline. We had Kawhi Leonard recently, and then Matt Mitchell, and then we got Lamont Butler from Riverside High School, who will be taking his talents down to Viejas Arena, playing for the Aztecs and Coach Dutcher. So things are alive and well from the IE to San Diego State. But, man, Matt Mitchell, one of our favorite guys, and can't wait to see him playing in the NBA coming up soon. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we've got part of our interview with Matt Logan, the head football coach at Centennial High School. Now, again, we've been doing a ton of these interviews with the Riverside County Office of Education. If you haven't heard about it, the first week of June, we're going to roll out at least a dozen interviews with some big-time professional athletes, coaches, administrators, student athletes. And basically, we just want everyone to kind of share their experience about having a positive attitude, that championship mindset, all those things that kind of pour into making a winner. So we're doing all these interviews for the Riverside County Office of Education, this virtual summit. And again, those complete interviews, I know a lot of you are asking right now on social media, but those complete interviews, we will roll out the first week of June. But until then, I am going to play some of our interviews that we have been conducting. Not the full interviews, because we got to save something for you guys. But when we come back, we're going to play some of our Matt Logan conversation. Matt Logan, the head football coach at Centennial. I posted a little bit on Twitter, like a minute or two, him talking about what the Centennial football schedule might look like in 2020. But when we come back, we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to play 8, 9, 10 minutes of our Matt Logan interview. We'll save the rest, though, for the virtual summit with the Riverside County Office of Education. So when we come back, Centennial football coach Matt Logan on the Inland Sports Show.
From Spoiled in Riverside, just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington in Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
You know, I mean, I always tell, my student athletes that, hey, gains are gains. It's everyone's where they're at, and all you have to worry about is making those small improvements. I see, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I see kids who start off, slow and they end up being really good, and talented student athletes, and I see others who start off really fast and they end up, petering out. And a lot of that has to do with, the hype of being a young student athlete and having all this shine, all this glory, and then you stop working. So, and I hate that. I feel like that's one of the things as a coach you have to, really hammer into your athletes that, it's a journey, and starting in high school or even making it to college, it's just all part of the journey, but not the destination. The destination is growth. Destination is to keep moving forward. What I do want to see is I want to see them grow. I want to see them grow academically. I want to see them to grow physically. And as long as we get that growth, they're gonna see some change. They're gonna be better off than where they were, and it's gonna set them on a good path athletically and academically throughout life. If you think you're ready to grow, if you think you're ready to move out of your comfort zone, then come train here at Boost. Because I tell you right now, it's not a place to be comfortable. We're gonna push you. We're gonna help you grow. But if you think you're ready for it, come check us out.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog. Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified from my living room. Well, until we get back into the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio, which we will do at Teen Vision TV 16. It will happen, but right now still doing the old safe at home. But it looks like things are opening up. Back in the day, I guess not too long ago, although I am getting old, I see the gray hairs, but back in the day, covered high school football up in the northern section for a couple television stations up there, an ABC and an NBC, and we used to cover teams like in the northern section, East Nicholas, Wheatland, all the way up to the Oregon border. And I see a lot of those high school football teams are setting, I think it's June 8th. They're starting to set a date of when they can get back to practice. So I think that bodes well. Yes, there's less people up there in the northern section. I get that. But at least California is now beginning to slowly reopen a little bit, which is good for high school sports. So we'll see how that kind of trickles down to the southern section. But the northern section, again, starting to open up a little bit with more high school football practices. And I'll say this too. So my daughter plays volleyball, and they've already set June 1st as their first day of practice. I live in San Bernardino County, in case you're wondering. So it looks like sports is right around the corner. Speaking of sports, high school football, Centennial High School head football coach Matt Logan has always been so good to the Inland Sports Show. Always giving up his time. Is very gracious with it. A lot of things to talk about with Coach Matt Logan about their upcoming schedule. They're going to open up with Mater Dei. We already know that. Then they've got a game. It's against St. Francis Academy from Maryland. Will they travel cross country to play in the Honor Bowl against Centennial? That's kind of up in the air, I guess, like a lot of different things. But here is more of our interview with head coach Matt Logan as part of our Riverside County Office of Education Virtual Summit. We're not going to play the whole thing, but we're going to play a good chunk. And Coach Logan has some really good things to say about the upcoming season and his team, what it might look like in 2020.
For us right now, it's I think it's up to the kids to kind of make what they can out of it, and in reality, they got to be able to be, forward thinkers and think out of the box a little bit, especially if they don't have home weightlifting equipment, stuff like that, in order to get some kind of lift going and those type of things.
Are we going to find out which football teams, whenever we resume, but are we going to find out which football teams actually did stuff during this quarantine time, as opposed to maybe a lot of the players who were sitting around eating potato chips and some who were actually trying to find innovative ways to exercise and work out at home?
Right. Yeah, I think we will. There'll be a separation. It's almost like we've been teasing with our coaches about having two practices. One's for the guys that are somewhat in shape and for the guys that are not in shape. So,
how about for your coaching staff? Having to adapt to, let's say, like Zoom. Zoom is now like a common part of our language and our daily activities. Technology-wise, was it hard to get up to speed with you and your coaching staff to use technology to be able to stay connected, to get ready for next season? Or were you guys already doing something similar so you could still, have conversations?
I think it was harder for some of us in order to get ready to do this with the Zoom. But, Zoom is really easy, and I'm not very, very techy, and I was able to figure it out on my first try, so I was pretty happy about that. I did have to buy the year subscription, though, because the 40 minutes sure go by fast. They gave you a little teaser in the beginning because they let you go over, and then finally they started just cutting off meetings. So, but yeah, I think, it's made us do a lot of different things in terms of trying to be as virtual as we can, without, having a virtual reality, system that costs a ton of money. But, so for me personally, I'm doing a lot of PowerPoints with animation to try to show some things to make it, game-esque as much as I can.
So how often are you able to, stay in contact with your coaches, maybe some of your returning players, to at least feel like you're doing something to get ready for that first game of the year? Because, oh, by the way, it's Mater Dei on August 21st if we start on time.
Yeah, hopefully. Yep. We've been meeting. It depends on the position group, but at least once a week. I've been doing two times a week with my position group, and a lot of us communicate text wise throughout the year, which is not just during this time frame, but usually in a normal capacity as well. But probably a little more texting now. But definitely been utilizing the Zoom meetings and going over film and huddles and different things. I've been quizzing kids on different things and trying to keep their mind sharp on football.
What do you think has been the biggest challenge, during this stay-at-home time, in terms of trying to, like I said, stay connected with your players? Because usually you would at least see them on campus, right? You'd see them in the weight room, or you'd see them walking around campus. What has been maybe some of the biggest challenges as a head football coach to stay connected with your coaches and your players?
Yeah, that's been one of the toughest things for sure, especially if you got a large team, like us. We have, right now on our roster is 135 kids, something like that. So, you can't have a Zoom meeting with 135 kids. It's impossible. So, what we try to do is we try to break it up positionally, and then I try to jump in on those position Zooms and at least stop in and say hi. What's been interesting is to see all the haircuts the kids have been doing. It's been funny, or haven't been doing. Either way, it's been kind of funny.
Well, speaking of haircuts, I got to bring up the facial hair. I've been in the Inland Empire since 2011, and I can't remember a non-clean shaven Matt Logan. When's the last time you had a beard, Coach?
You know what? I actually grew it right before this all started, and I had it at school, and everybody kept telling me how good it looks, so I kept it. And then as soon as we quarantined, I'm like, all right, I'm getting rid of this. I don't want to mess with it. And then I got bored, and I just grew it back again. So it's a work in progress. A lot of gray in there. So, but that's just the way it is.
But it's been a while since you've had a beard. Well, Coach, it's a good look on you for sure. But when we were talking about Mater Dei, the August 21st game, and I've got your non-league schedule right now in front of me, and there's another conversation that people can watch here through the Athletic Virtual Summit with Centennial High School Athletic Director Bill Gunn, but something I brought up to Bill, and I know there's a lot of unknown out there right now, and it's hard to plan for anything. If anything, you have to plan for everything, every different scenario that might arise as we go forward. And one of them I was asking Bill about was, you have St. Anthony's coming from the East Coast. I want to say that's like the Baltimore area. Is that correct?
St. Francis. Yeah.
Yeah, St. Francis. Excuse me, St. Francis. And they're coming out here for the Honor Bowl, but I don't know what our world's going to look like in a couple months if everyone state-wise is going to stay in our own little bubbles and then they're not going to promote, leaving your state or leaving your county, or how that's going to look. So when I look at your non-league schedule, have you thought in the back of your head, like, okay, we might have to, adjust our schedule. We might have to drop a game, pick up a game. It might be a 9-league schedule. Maybe you just play your league games. Maybe you just play your Big 8 league games and go straight to playoffs. I don't know what it's going to look like. Have you thought of those scenarios of what your schedule might look like in the fall?
Yeah, there's so many what ifs, and we have thought about those scenarios. I think that in terms of out-of-state opponents, I think there's plenty of schools around here. Mater Dei and Bosco being two of them that I know schedule a national schedule. So they would have some openings as well if that was the case. So I would hope we'd be able to fill our game with not Mater Dei again, but probably Bosco in this case, since we're, not scheduled to play them. But it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. And it's what's tough is to sit there and speculate. Okay, is it going to be a August start? Is it going to be an October start? Is it going to be a January start? I mean, I think the key is just to, kind of think about what is the most important thing your kids are going to know when they get on the field, and then have them ready to go on the field. And that's what our focus has been on our meetings, is just get ready. So when we can, kind of plug and play, be ready to go right on the field, we can go right into stuff as a team, as opposed to, because we're doing all this individual learning right now. Now, there's, we've even, like for me, I coach the quarterback, so I'm having them to do drops on their own and stuff like that for our footwork, for our pass game and some other things, and in front of a mirror so they can kind of coach themselves up, because we'd already just gone over that right before we went on this quarantine. So, I think the goal is to try to just get them, whenever we get clearance, that they're ready to plug in and play.
Coach, from a coaching perspective, do you look at this upcoming season like, hey, we're going to have to probably just keep it simple? Who knows how many weeks or days we're going to have with the guys face-to-face before the season starts? Do you think like, hey, let's keep it simple, let's modify it, let's not overcomplicate it because we're not going to have a lot of time physically together before the season begins? Or do you have a program, and I think you're probably one of the few, that you guys kind of do the same thing consistently year by year, that it might be easier to have a shortened preseason or training camp, or what do you want to call it, because you guys do basically the same thing. Like, in a Centennial program, what the plays you're going to run, the style you're going to play, as opposed to maybe a high school football program that has a brand new first-year head coach, and this is their first year, and that's going to be a real uphill battle.
Yeah, there's a couple things there. First of all, we try to keep it simple as much as we can anyways, so that's kind of our motto. And then, for us and the way we do things, the way we operate, try to mimic a college program where spring is super important. So missing the spring is, really going to be a detriment, especially some of the younger players. And you're right, we do kind of the same things year and out. We tweak things here and there, but that is what we do. But I think that will definitely be the case. I think we'll have to, maybe not as we go along, as the season progresses, we would be adding some stuff as we go, where normally all that would be in prior to that, first game or so.
All right. Great, Matt Logan. And again, that was just a slice of the entire interview that we will roll out beginning on June 1st as part of the Riverside County Office of Education Virtual Summit. Again, we're going to have a bunch of interviews, including the full exclusive interview with head football coach Matt Logan as he discusses the upcoming season. Yeah, and he mentioned it. Can you imagine if Centennial has to add, let's say, St. John Bosco to their non-league schedule? So they'd play like Bosco and Mater Dei in their non-league, and who knows, they would probably see at least one of those, maybe both of them, come playoff time again. But again, we are living in weird, wacky times, so who knows what can happen. But again, a big thanks to head football coach Matt Logan, and a good look, Coach Logan growing out the beard, and I think he said he cut his own hair as well. So Matt Logan can certainly do it all. Speaking of being able to do it all, coming up next on the show is the one and only Taylor Dockins. Taylor Dockins, her story has been well documented in this area, battling a form of liver cancer, yet still the Gatorade National Player of the Year for high school softball when she was at Norco. Now she's at Cal State Fullerton, and she is still getting it done in the circle as a pitcher for the Titans. And now she's going to be writing a book too. So we're going to hear a little bit from Taylor Dockins, another one of our Riverside County Office of Education exclusive interviews. We'll be right back on the Inland Sports Show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Don't forget, there's 2 Spoiled locations now. I'm at the brand new one right off the 91 freeway at Arlington. You can spoil yourself. You can spoil your car. You come in here, 10 minutes, you're in and you're out. You're back on the road. Go check out Spoiled, local business, locally owned and operated. And they've got the location off the 215 freeway at Alessandro. And this one, the brand new one here, off of the 91 at Arlington.
I felt spoiled. It was great. I got in easy. I mean, the price was the best. The price is just helped me out. And what I really enjoyed about it is that they explained to me what was going on today. And I feel like when I walked out of here, I just felt so special. I said I had a new boyfriend. His name is Spoiled.
You got your flowers.
And I got some flowers.
We talk about this a lot with our student athletes. We talk about working hard. We talk about grinding. We talk about how hard you work. But at the end of the day, it's about applying the right effort. If you're constantly doing things that are easy for you, that's not really the right effort. The right effort moves you out of your comfort zone. The right effort moves you closer to your goals. So I talk about what are you doing at night? What are you doing to prep for the next day? Are you staying up at night being on social media? Or are you watching television? Are you eating junk food? Are you getting a good night's sleep, which is going to help prepare you mentally and physically to grow the next day? Is your training moving you out of your comfort zone? Are you doing things are you working on your weaknesses? Or are you doing things that you're already good at? So, there's a lot of effort. A lot of kids say they work hard, but you're not working hard unless you're doing things that aren't easy. Because if you're doing what's easy, it's just, it's not really hard work. It's work, but it's not the right work. So if you're ready to put in that right work, the right effort, then come on down and check us out at the Boostville Performance Center.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. We're going to wrap things up with another great interview. Again, we've got at least a dozen interviews with local athletes, with professional athletes from the NFL, with motocross champions, all walks of life when you look at the wide world of sports. And we're going to roll those out as part of our Riverside County Office of Education Virtual Summit. I can't take the credit. It's all Dr. Michael Rowe from the office, the county office, and he's done such a fantastic job, the former Riverside Poly principal. We're just happy to play a small part and do some of these interviews, and we're just sharing a little bit, kind of whet your appetite, get you excited about the full interview that will roll out. And again, that will be the first week in June. In fact, let me punch up the flyer real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And I'll make sure, like on all the Inland Sports social media channels, that we share this information as well. But there it is, the virtual summit, the week of June 1st through the 5th. And again, strategies to deal with the current crisis, right? Keeping that competitive advantage, that positive attitude, the championship mindset. So we've got a lot of great interviews that we will share during that virtual summit. And one of those is Taylor Dockins, the pride of Norco High School and Cal State Fullerton. And again, nobody knows more about overcoming and doing it with a smile on your face the entire time. It's Taylor Dockins. Here's a little bit of our interview with her, and she is anxious. She wants to get back on the softball field ASAP. In fact, we want to send our prayers out to Taylor. She's going to be having another surgery on Thursday. So if you're the praying type out there, and we certainly are here at the Inland Sports Show, we are praying for you, Taylor. Come Thursday morning, she's going to have another surgery, and you will definitely be in our thoughts and our prayers on Thursday. But here's a little bit of our conversation that we did, just a couple of days ago about she wants to get back on the softball field ASAP. She wants to get back out there and compete. And here's a little bit of our conversation that we will have for the Riverside County Office of Education Virtual Summit. Hoping at least in the fall the team will be able to get back together and work out and at least practice together, even though classes might.
Yeah, gosh, I hope so. I just hope we can be able to go to the field. We're not allowed to even be on campus right now. So just go in and see my players, the coaches, teammates. I mean, just everyone. It's going to be so awesome. And hopefully we can have the chance to keep playing and striving to get better, even if we can't play games in the fall and just have to wait till spring. I think it's just going to be really great to come back together as a team and just work on even the mental part, maybe not totally physically, but hopefully we can just do everything and everything will be normal, even though we will go online for school. So.
Well, Taylor, you have such a unique story, and if anyone knows about having a positive attitude and that championship mindset, it would be you. But for people who might be watching this, because we're hoping this is going to touch a lot of different people, high school student athletes, their parents, high school administrators, whoever might be watching this, without going into every single little detail, but kind of share your story, some of the health challenges you've had, and you've been able to keep a positive mindset, a smile on your face the entire time.
Yeah. So actually it's going to be 4 years in July. 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with a rare liver cancer, and it's very rare. Only like less than 200 people in the world have it. And so just a little bit about it. I was having some back pain, stomach pain before I got diagnosed, and went to Colorado for a softball tournament. And my pain got really bad. I got rushed to the emergency room where they did some labs and some things, and it came back that my liver panel was coming back abnormal. So they were like, "That's a little weird. We want to do a CT scan." So we went in for a CT scan, and then about an hour later, we got the results from the doctor saying that I had a mass, about a grapefruit-sized tumor in my liver, and it needed to get taken out immediately. She's like, "I'm not sure if it's cancer or not, but we have to see when it gets taken out, but mostly it looks like cancer." So we were like, "What?" So we went back to California, had the surgery there. I was completely clean for a year with no tumors, and then 3 new tumors popped up after that year. And since then, I've been going through chemo treatments, radiation. I'm currently on 3 chemos right now. My next treatment's Monday. So just trying to push through. I'm still playing softball. I'm still, fighting through every obstacle that's, come my way. But just staying positive. My next surgery is going to be on Thursday. So let's just hope everything goes well with that. But just keep battling, pushing through, staying positive is all I can do, because I can't control the situation, but I can control my attitude through it. So, yeah.
Well, we'll definitely be praying for you and about that upcoming surgery. But if this started 4 years ago, and if you do the math, I mean, during that time, you won at least one CIF championship, right?
So I won CIF my sophomore year, which was 2015.
Okay.
And then I was diagnosed in 2016 with the cancer, and then had a great season my senior year. So
your senior year, you were the Gatorade Player of the Year, not only for the great state of California, but for the entire country. So when you try to wrap your brain around that here you had these health challenges, but you were still able to not only just play, but obviously play at a very, very, very high level. You got a college scholarship through it all. Do you feel like when you're going through situations, maybe inside the circle on the softball diamond, that you're like, okay, this is easy compared to the other challenges I've met and overcome in my life?
Yeah, definitely. I think everything that's come my way in life, I think of it differently. I think of the positive aspect that it might have in my life. Being on the softball field when something goes wrong and I'm just not having a good game, I'm not pitching very well, I kind of just realized, like, you know what? I'm just blessed to be out here. And I know I'm, big about my faith, and I just know that God has got me. And even though I'm not having the game of my life, I'm just happy to be out there with my teammates and my coaches. And it's a blessing every single day. So taking all that into consideration really has helped, especially with everything that I've gone through. Just knowing that the little things in life matter the most and not take 1 second for granted.
All right, so that's a little bit of our conversation with Taylor Dockins. Nasty in the circle. Taylor, God bless you. We will be praying for you and your surgery on Thursday. So any of our Inland Sports followers, our viewers, if you could do the same, the more prayers, the better. So Taylor is one of those phenomenal athletes who she's had chemotherapy one day, and then she's back at practice pitching the next day. Just simply unbelievable. Heart of a champion right there. So thank you, Taylor. And again, the whole Taylor Dockins interview, just want to make it abundantly clear because you guys have been asking on social media. The whole interview we will roll out the week of the virtual summit. And she's got a lot of great things. If you're a high school athlete or a parent of a high school athlete, Taylor Dockins shares a lot of great suggestions, advice, tips, whatever you'd like to call it, about keeping that championship mindset. Big thanks to our Inland Sports sponsors, rocking the Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change shirt right now, live in my living room. Oh, there's Munchie too. Whoops. Munchie the cat. Here we go. Munchie the cat. Anyways, Spoiled. They are open. They are open. If you're out and about, you're driving around, and I know you are because traffic is really picking up out there. More and more cars on the road. You still got to get your oil changed. Spoiled is open off the 91 at Arlington, off the 215 at Alessandro. They can hook it up for you. They will keep you safe. They'll practice all the safety precautions. So make sure you get your oil changed and keep you safe. And again, 2 locations that you can go to. We got Ken Sporting Goods. Can't wait to get my Inland Sports mask. We might be wearing masks for a while now, but hey, if we can go out in public, I'm cool. If we can have high school sports, I'm cool. And I will wear a mask with my Inland Sports logo on it from Ken Sporting Goods. We've got Boost Performance Training. We love you, Ray Bass. Keep up the great work training our local athletes at Boost Performance Training. Mike's Fitness Equipment. They were like, the supply chain ran out. They were selling, gym equipment right and left. They will open their doors surely soon enough, and you can get your gym equipment there. And JoJo's Grill Dog, the curbside pickup is back. Go get your hot dog on at JoJo's Grill Dog in the, I always get the name wrong. It's the Mountain Grove, I believe, shopping center in Redlands. I always want to say Mountain View, but I think it's Mountain Grove. My wife always corrects me. We're there all the time. I should know it by now. But anyways, that's the Inland Sports Show, guys. We appreciate our sponsors. We appreciate you watching. Our sponsors make it happen, but we do it for you guys, our fans out there, our viewers. We love doing these exclusive interviews. We love bringing you local content, even during this pandemic. We're going to hunker down. We're still going to get the job done for you. Guys, thanks for watching. We do it every single Wednesday night. We're streaming live on Twitter right now. Again, we're trying to utilize this quarantine time to work on some of the things that we do behind the scenes, even though we're not physically in the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio at Teen Vision TV 16. We will be there soon. But some other things like the social media and the kind of audience we get on Twitter versus YouTube versus Facebook. So we're going to tinker on some things before we get to football season, because we will have a football season. Good night, everybody. God bless. We're praying for you, Taylor, and we will see you next Wednesday night on the Inland Sports Show.